ultra maneuvering game that Henrik and Héðinn are playing.
Já, Héðinn vinnur það, kominn að vinna. Hann vinnur sko. Já, það er það.
Hvað er Héðinn það komið með? +1 bara? Nei, jú. Já, hann vinnur.
Já, hann er 3 ára hann.
+1. En já, Gummi verður það með 5 og 6. Ja, wow. Okay. Given that he wins, of course he hasn't won yet. So Danielsson and Steingrímsson, we left after 30 B6.
Ég mistu ekki á maður 3.
Það er alveg búin að gera eitthvað.
Það er komið 4.
Okay, we'll quick look. Rook A6.
Wow.
Knight C3.
Svo gaman að það þröstu vinnur. Það er flotta skáli.
Það vinna 3 ár.
Já, þetta dýrvík sko ekki over.
Það er ekki ennþá búin að gera jafntefli.
En ekki mikið jafntefli?
Nei.
Það er ekki mikið jafntefli.
Knight E5. E takes F4. G takes. Not too loud. So the rook got trapped here. What's going on? Knight C3.
Það magnaði þröstu, nei, hann er svo hjörðar á báður.
Okay, we can't take because pawn takes. Knight E4, Knight A5. E takes F4, G takes F4. G takes F4, and now he takes Knight B5. So what's going on here? Quite often white can sacrifice the exchange in these structures, but actually we have some developments in Stefansson. Stefansson against Þorláksson, Þorláksson Stefansson. No, Stefansson Þorláksson, sorry. (28 rook e1). Took with the rook actually. Rook takes f4. Queen went to e3. King to h7. Whoa. Whoa. h3. And now bishop f3. Well, what we want? What is that? And if we take it, what happens if we take it? Just rook takes. No. Then yeah. Yeah, maybe take on e1 and rook here. Maybe even something stronger here.
D3.
Yeah, this rook is completely out of the game. Difficult to defend. Bishop f3. Actually, it says rook takes f3. Then queen check. Is king h6 maybe? And then we're going to play queen g3. Is there no way to defend it?
Queen
h4 doesn't look good.
Yes.
Yeah, there's queen g6. There's
So retreat.
yeah, it's a nice move. If we go to h1, then we can play this. Takes check and mate, but if we go here, should be something. Maybe just no. We have to keep an eye on this square.
Moni bara skáka D6.
Yeah, it's not. Immediately declare queen e4, king h6, queen h4.
Því rítar þetta strax. Nei.
Oh, you sure you could? Just knight f5 just to get the g3 square. Yeah. Just get the queen into g3. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, bishop f3 was played. Hannes went queen to e8. And rook f8.
5,5.
Minus 5.55. Ah. 5.55. So what's going on now? Where does queen go? Is this just completely over? Back in g3? No, queen f2.
Jú, það ekki. Þá er G6 aftur.
Queen back. Yeah, it's this is of course horrible. Just well, yeah, this works.
Progress.
Rook e7.
Crazy.
Where's the win? Where's the immediate win?
Það eru náttúrulega ekki með mikið tíma þetta.
Nei, það er I mean, it looks easy on the computer. 2 minutes, yeah, 2 minutes each. So let's keep an eye on which games are.
Það er drottning G3, drottning G6, drottning D2. Já, drottning G6 bara strax.
For strax. No, it's not good. I can get on tempo. Yeah, we'll go here immediately. Not give away. Don't give away tempo on G3 to retreat the queen. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's the way to do it. Do it. We could, I mean, we could just do this. Just check. King, take. Doing. Yeah. This looks fairly game over. 1 minute left. So I have a feeling we might see resignation quite soon. Meanwhile, Gummy. We'll come back to this one. Why do they have 9 minutes there? I guess 4 on the other board. Yeah, but 36. Yeah, it's 30. Oh, only 31 moves. Yes. Okay, I thought it was closer to the time control. Okay, he resigned. Rook f8. So second consecutive loss for Stefansson. So what the hell is going on? We thought that Hannes was running away with the tournament, but 2 losses in a row, and this one with white. So now it's actually not so clear. Also, Hjörvar is not doing too great. Okay, they reached move 40, so we'll check that one out later. Maybe we should jump to Alexander Steingrímsson. After knight takes b5. That was queen takes b5. a7. F takes e5. Bishop takes e5. So white has 1 pawn for the exchange. f4. Bishop e7. Okay, white might have some compensation, but don't think there's anybody here who wouldn't prefer the black pieces. How are you?
Fine.
Fine.
Are you fine?
Very tan. Show the people you're tan here. You're very sexy young man.
Hey, hi people. All over.
Ættu bara í ljósum alltaf daginn, eða?
Ástundu, þetta eftir einn. Ég var alltaf á Spáni líka. Blessaður. Blessaður.
Bara djamma djúsa hérna, hvað er? Já.
Ég var alveg missi golf það.
Það er skakinn sko.
Það er svo að það er ekki komið dæla.
Já, ok. Þú getur örugglega að törna fram í þá.
Já.
Ég vil ekki tekið pásu bara fljótlega tímar í.
Já, stundum bara.
Yeah. So this one, bishop d7, they have to reach the time control. Queen takes d7, rook takes d7, and knight to a4. So looks like he might be able to win the b6 pawn because we can't defend it. If we defend it, we lose the d6 pawn. Maybe even, yeah. So then white would have actually 2 pawns for the exchange. And then the question becomes if black can organize his pieces to attack some white pawns. If he can, then black should be better. But at this moment, I'm not sure. So we'll wait and see. So move 40. Most likely they will, use the time a little bit here. They get extra 30 minutes here, and usually after the time trouble phase, people like to stand up and stretch and walk around. But yeah, Hjörvar doesn't seem to be doing too great. After rook a3 on move 38, there was f3, h5, rook d5, rook a2 check, king h3, rook a3, rook takes h5, f3 check, king g4, rook e3, no, rook a3, sorry. Rook e3 makes no sense whatsoever. Because we have to stop the pawn and yeah. White is just pawn up. It doesn't look like he has any chances of actually losing the game. Okay, 3 white to move. Maybe black can start thinking about king to d6 now. Try and attack the knight. Get this dangerous a pawn. Most likely white can just take the pawn on f4. The question is if black can actually get the c pawn then. Probably he can. King e3. You can't take on c4 because a6, a7. Well, but then we can attack the knight actually. So let's see if this, something like this. And there's no back here, which is important because you can't protect the knight. And now if the knight has to move, we can take on e7. So maybe takes on f4 is not the best move actually. But again, it's clear that Hjörvar is only fighting for a draw here. He will never be able to win this game. So that more or less eliminates his chances. It would be hard for Henrik to win, so if Gummi can manage to win, then he will take the sole lead. And actually, yeah, at this moment in time, it looks like most likely we'll have a two-horse race with Henrik and Gummi Kjartans. Because, okay, worst case scenario, they both make a draw, but then they have a full point, and they're a full point ahead of Hannes and Bragi. But let's keep in mind that Hannes still has to play against Henrik and Gummi, so he can actually catch up to them by beating them both. So Hannes is not completely out of this tournament, by no means, but he has to play some strong chess and beat some strong players. But let's actually have a look at Gummi, since that's the most important development for the tournament. If he can actually win his game, then he will be the leader. And I'm assuming that Henrik will not win then. Rook d2, rook e1, we're attacking e7, so rook e8. And now I wasn't sure where to move the knight. He didn't move it. He went rook h7, rook takes e5. Now knight e3. Rook to e5. If I'm wondering what happens if rook d6. There are some tactics. Yeah, of course. Rook d6. There's this move. And I forgot about this one. This is decisive, so therefore rook to e5. Rook d1 check, king to c8. Rook takes h6, a5. Rook a6, bishop to b4. Rook a7, pawn to a4. Making luft with h3. Now king b8 and rook d to d7. So what's going on here? a7, a4, h3, rook d to d7. So now what happens if black exchanges the rooks? That's a big question. And that's interesting because, okay, let's say here rook takes. Here I have a feeling white should keep the rooks on, because even though we're up a pawn here, the worst scenario for a white knight is pass pawn on a rook's file, because it's so easy to, so difficult to deal with. And here he takes a3. Yeah, black will even be able to win the knight. Okay, white will get the pawn. So, and then the question is, so let's just say we go actually here, a2 here. Maybe okay, we can go here. But now black can also start working his king, so it's just not. Yeah, here start walking his king. So I'm actually not entirely sure what's going on here. 5 on 2. Let's just push something. Not like this, of course, but let's just try something. Weird situation. That's knight b4, of course. So we have to go actually king b3, and then f7, bishop b7. There's no knight b4 anymore. Yeah, and this loses for white, it seems. So we would actually have to go with the king first to d3 or something to threaten to take the a pawn. Then we force black to actually improve like this. And take back. Okay, white can't lose, but I doubt he can win here. Especially since black kept this pawn, that was important. But okay, I don't think white will go for this. He will keep on one pair of rooks, but just to demonstrate, the dangers. Even though black is down a pawn, the knight is such a bad piece against a rook pawn. So okay, I'm gonna take a 10-minute break now, and we'll come back. bullið þar. Já, sleppa þess að mæta. Magnús Teitsson að taka á skundaflokki. Hreinlega. Herðu. No, I'm speaking English, yes. Großliche Hilfe, diesen Abendstuhlstraßen. I'm sorry, I don't know any German. 39, rook d to d7. He did play rook a to e7. And Gummi decided to reach time control with rook a to b7 with a check. And after king a8, he played king f1. I think this is the current position. Oh, bishop c5 was actually played. Bishop c5. Okay, now the white king, black king, no white king. It's actually closer to the queen side. If we go for this endgame that we had before the break. This could be tough to win, but we said that before about Gummi, and it's time he managed to win somehow, so let's not count him out. So only 2 games are finished. Helgi and Bragi drew, and Þröstur beat Hannes, somewhat surprisingly with the black pieces. So yeah, solid tournament so far for Bragi, except for the loss against Henrik. And I mean, he should just keep playing solid. I mean, he could get chances later in the tournament if Hannes beats Henrik and or Gummi Kjartans. So anything can happen. Hjörvar's game against Gummi Gísla. Still fighting for the draw. 44-98 check. Inline king e7. Rook d5 check. King g8. Knight e6. But this e7. Took a king, took a knight on a4, and now we got this a pawn. So that's some progress by black, but now we have to deal with another dangerous pawn, the h pawn. h4, bishop d4, h5. So black had to maneuver the bishop to d4 to protect this pawn. And now he can move his rook over h5, rook a4. Okay, yeah. Black's plan here is quite clear. He wants to take on a4 and then sacrifice his bishop for the h pawn. Then we would have rook against rook and knight, and that's a depth draw. Really hard to lose that. You just have to pin the knight. Even though we saw in the recent US Chess Championship, Kamil Bagniskite actually lost it against Anna Satonsky when she blundered in one move, but she failed to do exactly that, just pin the knight. So knight e7, Back. Uh, King c7, I guess. And then we take on c4, right? So the only question is now if white can push his king to g6 and somehow maneuver the knight to g7, and then the pawn is too difficult to deal with. That's the only chance for white to win. Because king g7 was played knight f5. Ah. Oh. Now he wants to take on d4 actually. We take on c4. We can do this. And okay, we can force the rook trade, but the difference, oops, if we do this, takes. The difference is that the white king is in the square of the black pawn, while black's king is not in the square of the white pawn. So white would win this. And pawn takes, and probably the king is might be cut off too far. I'm wondering if we can somehow use our d pawn for leverage and escape this. I'm not sure. So he needs to think here, Hjörvar, if he thinks this ending is lost with rook takes c4, he will try to preserve his bishop. So let's look at the other important game. Yeah, Henrik against Henrik against here. Knight a4 was played, bishop d4 reached the time control. Bishop d2. Also bishop takes a5. Rook a7 protects the knight, and now knight a to c3. Yeah. Okay, now he wants to put the knight on b5. Yeah, note that if we take here, d6, we probably take on c4. So he went knight a to c3. Now we can take on d6. We also have knight b5.
What's happening? Who's better?
Good question. Let's see what the computer says. I don't know. I think it's around equalish.
I think white is very solid. He has all the ideas here.
Yeah. He's also
all the
gonna.
moves in the world right now.
Yeah, he's also gonna.
There are not a single open line. Okay, maybe the G line, but it's not actually.
Yeah. At the moment, not the position for the rooks. White is very solid.
And I think Hendrik is one of the very experienced players that he understands this quite well. The exchange, when is the exchange useful and when it is not. He has really understanding of the nature of the pieces.
Here, yeah, he's gonna probably win another pawn. Get black to move, but he can take on d6 next move, and if black protects, b5. Yeah, knight b5 is actually
always
a threat right now. Because if black does nothing, I mean, just to make a bad move, bishop f5 and knight b5, and where to put the rook.
And actually, the computer favors white a little bit.
Yeah. Just to shield the dangers, if you move the rook, then the pin is on again and we can take. So, actually, maybe not too easy for black to find a move.
And knight b5 is very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe we should.
Maybe bishop back, yeah. Makes sense, bishop back. So knight
But
b5.
still knight b5.
And
So
we
huge.
have to...
I mean, knight e7, knight d6. Okay, rook d7, no? On the move.
now the pin is back on.
The knight is really.
Yeah, knight on a5 is badly placed. Can we play it to c6 now?
Knight e5 works.
Yeah, I'm wondering if knight takes c5, rook takes d6.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Well,
You also like f.
yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
it works. No.
Knight takes c5.
No,
Let's just
no.
look at it. I don't think it works.
Very interesting, but I'm not sure yet.
Almost works.
Bishop takes bishop f5 something. Bishop f. No, it doesn't work.
No.
But okay, f5 now.
Yeah.
Simply
I'm
f5
wondering if bishop.
f5 and bishop f4, then the bishop breathes. I don't know. Bishop g8 is more.
We can start with bishop e5 first, but still.
Ah, okay, you have the check.
Still.
Because you can take the knight now.
Yeah.
Probably.
But still, I mean, what to do here?
Bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop, rook d8. So
Oh, it's this guy maybe.
just take the I think it's good for
So it seems like it's a bit dangerous for black to move here.
Yeah.
And we see
the time is really.
he has only played one move after they reached the time control. So he has used 20 of 30 minutes he had. So obviously it's not easy for him here.
It has happened something interesting in the game. Gudmundur Kjartansson Einar Helti at move 39. They pushed the clock 2 times. So they got the 30 minutes,
Oh,
but they didn't get the 30 minutes. And of course they know it because they are playing the last 30 seconds before them. And then, please, arbiter, call the arbiter. I had to go and check about it. They said that he first pushed the clock,
yeah.
but he didn't push it enough, so it went back on him. So he
Yeah.
got the 30, and then he pushed it again, so he got 30 seconds twice.
Yeah.
And the move counter definitely has reached 40 moves.
Yeah.
So it was a bit interesting to readjust the clock and put it back on move counter 39 so that they can get the 30 minutes back again. And
Yeah, but what can you do if somebody knows how to do it and okay he's in time trouble and he tricks it,
Yes.
pushes twice and you have to look at it and then you go set the clock
well,
and
of course,
he uses
I
the time.
understand.
It could be like a trick.
That's a possibility. To say the truth, I think in my own opinion, the move counter shouldn't be adjusted on the clock. Shouldn't be shouldn't be fixed. Because when the time ends, you will get your 30 minutes or 15 minutes, it depends on the tournament. And if you didn't complete all your moves in the time allocated, the score sheet tells that you have already played 39 moves or 38. You didn't play the 40th move. So the score sheet is strong. The same as the mechanical clocks in the past.
Yeah.
This avoids any kind of mistakes in pushing the clock. Sometimes you come and sit on the clock and you play your move and push the friend who is sitting next to you on the clock. And then the other one says, well, no, he has still the time. And then he pushes for you. So then you get 30 seconds or the move counter added 1 move for you. But the players doesn't notice it. They were not by the board.
So it should be like in the past, you reached
move 40
and then you
get the 30.
the clock had to fell and then you had to move 40 something and then the arbiter came and he put 30.
It will add automatically.
Yeah, but with the old clocks.
With the old clocks, mechanical.
Adjust it.
Yeah. The arbiter has.
Then your flag had to fall, and then you had to show, okay, we both have over 40 moves, and then you set it. So
exactly.
I'm wondering if you could,
Actually, in the Olympiad, it is done like this. The
It
move,
is,
the
okay.
move counter, at least in 2012 in Turkey, the move counter was not set,
Okay.
and that avoided a lot of mistakes that could
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes also when they start the game, okay, black should push the clock.
Exactly.
Maybe he makes a move, then they start the clock, and then
Exactly.
black is white, and
Yeah.
there's one move missing on
and
the
then
counter.
always move
Yeah.
39. There is a problem.
Yeah.
Actually, there were 2 years ago in here the Icelandic Championship. There were two players who did this, and at the beginning, I always thought that I was adjusting the clock wrongly. You know, move 39, and it happened twice
Yeah.
in 2 consecutive rounds. Then I decided to investigate the thing more than that.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the game, when they play white, these two players, and they played the final, by the way, it was Thruster and Bragi.
Yeah.
When they start the move, when they are with white, they make the move on the board, and then they push the clock, and then they push start.
Yeah, yeah.
So now he became 39 moves for him, and the other opponent will get 40 moves, but he doesn't get the 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But that was an experience I remember, because
Yeah.
next day, whoa, I was taking really good care about the clock. There was nothing wrong with it. Why? So I had to see what they do.
Yeah.
The life of the arbiter.
Yep.
40, rook 8 to b7 check, king a8, king f1.
Okay, so
c5.
Gumi has decided to continue, of course.
Of course, rook takes c7. He always continues.
He always
Yeah.
continues.
Bishop takes c7.
This is the habits of a champion.
Oh yes.
No draws.
No.
Short draws.
I also, so many tournaments, he's always the last game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
he's very hard worker.
Except when I'm playing.
except I think there was one tournament where he had 4 or 5 games in a row where he had the last game.
Yeah.
So always playing long games.
Lanka is always like this also. Always.
Yeah, yes, he tends to play quite solid and also play for small advantages. Small advantages. But Lenka is not doing
Well, today.
well today. Yeah, -7.
Oh.
But it has been -4 or something. Maybe
Yeah,
since
-5,
35 or
-5.
something. Yeah, and they're
Just
still
a little
continuing. Yeah. But this game, it
Oh,
has
this game,
been
oh, yeah.
long time. He had many chances to finish the game off.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course.
Oh, are we down on the clocks? Oh, 15:21.
Oh, they are playing the last minute, the last 5 minutes. But I think the position is so easy,
Yeah.
so easy for him. It's impossible almost to make any mistake. I mean, if you even lose the pawn on e2, still is winning.
But he's been playing surprisingly well. How many rounds is the candidate? Is it 9
9.
also? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So
9
he's
rounds.
won all the 5 games that he played and he took a bye.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Gummi again, rook d7. Move? No, rook d7, okay.
Okay, but what about moves like b4?
Yeah, I was worried in the.
Or is simple e3 now? I don't know.
Yeah. I was looking at if we exchanged all the
Even
rooks.
Bishop c5. Bishop c5 could be also very interesting to not to push b4, of course, because of knight c4 it can be a little bit annoying, because this check on b6 and grabbing the pawn on a4
Yeah.
also. There is a lot here, but okay, maybe like bishop c5 simply. Black is not that. It's not easy game for white. I think.
No, he can fight still.
And he can fight, and he can have really good chances because of the advanced A and B pawns.
Yeah. These pawns are definitely an advantage for black, so.
I mean, okay, he's down a pawn, but the pawn on g5 is doing a great job. And the bishop, of course, is superior over the knight, so
Yeah.
we will see what happens here. Of course, if white allows bishop takes knight, I think it will be winning. Because even you put the rook on b3 and take the b2 pawn or something, or push the a and b pawns. But
Yeah,
maybe king e2 or what?
Yeah.
I don't see any move, any convincing move for the knight. Knight g4 looks to be like superficial.
What is it doing there? Yeah.
Slugs. Okay, king d2.
Okay, now we push, maybe?
Yeah, knight c4 is not there. But what about rook d5 now? I don't know. Yeah, it would be interesting.
Knight
And then
takes.
a3 doesn't work because you take and then knight c3, yeah. And then it should be winning for white if this happens. Rook d5 can
Most
be
likely.
Yeah. Yeah, you try to come and take the g pawn. Or what? Yeah.
Yeah, then we have to go to g3. But the king is quick. So I want to have three. Well, this is just. Well, maybe you lost. So no, hang on a minute.
Yeah, bishop
Yeah,
e3
bishop
is
e3.
strong.
Yeah.
But I think white should play it different.
Yeah. There's always interest to allow this fast pawn. Yeah, so the position is not without
Maybe
danger
bishop
from
e3
white.
will simply be answered by king d3. Bishop c5, I mean king d3. Okay, king e2 now.
It's black to move.
Yeah, bishop c5, king e2,
e4,
and
king
then king
d3.
d3. Yeah. Just simply using your king in the. I mean, just improving the king's position.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense too.
And then rook d5 can be really good now. Because of course the b4 pawn. I think if you change the f2 with the b4 pawn, you are winning. You are not winning, but better winning chances.
Let's say we play a3 then. What's going on here? Okay. It's actually a bit tricky. Yeah, and the candidate Magnus Teitsson has defeated Lenka.
Yeah, it can be.
So he has a commanding lead.
With 1 point ahead of the others.
Yeah, but I guess the only chance for the others is now if David Kjartansson can maybe beat him, but maybe
Daddy do today?
he's up a pawn against Oliver, I think.
Okay. I think
And
if
he already played.
he already played him.
Yeah, he lost against him.
That's
So
correct.
where is David? Yeah, probably a winning endgame for David. David already won. Okay. Yeah. So we have after rook d7 the move b4. Okay, which is also quite logical.
Okay, so knight c4 is not a big threat.
No.
Maybe.
Maybe. So Omar was wondering about knight c4 here. When you want to play knight e6 check, take up his pawn. There's rook e6, which prevents knight b6. And now it's not all that clear where we put our pieces. That's what I do here. Yeah, I mean, black has counter chances here. Maybe more than that. Very dangerous pawn there. What do we have left? We have this one, okay. Okay, let's have a look at Hjörvar. holding on for dear life on his birthday. Bishop f6. Rook takes c5 check. King d7, knight e3, not down 2 pawns. So clearly he didn't fancy the ending with rook takes c4 and knight takes d4. So clearly he thought that this was just lost with c takes d4. And probably it actually just is how to defend the pawn. Our pieces stand quite badly here, and d3 doesn't really help. We're not reaching this square now. We're just losing this pawn. Yeah, white's just gonna take this pawn, and then the black king should be cut off here. Yeah, plus we have this threat of, let's say we try and go around the pawn. This should be lost. So he didn't fancy this, so instead he had to give up c5 pawn, but then it should be really dangerous. Rook a3, rook f5, king e6, knight d5, bishop e4, knight f4, king e7, h6, h7. Not looking good for the birthday boy, and probably it's been a while since he lost
3 in a row?
3 in a row.
Oh my god.
Rook f1 check, king e4, bishop h8, c5, king d7. So white is just trying to move forward here, slowly but surely. Knight d3, king c7, rook h6, rook f7. Yeah, that's the current position. Doesn't look too great for black here. Rook f7. Yeah, we can maneuver. I played rook e7 check. No, this is move 67. Rook f7, knight b4. Which I was going to suggest to put the knight on d5 and rook e7 check. Now king d3 will threaten this, and the king goes to b5. You can play c6, knight a6 or knight d5, push the pawn, and this should be game over. You play king d5, rook d5, king c4 probably. This should be lost, so let's just focus on the other games. Let's get back to Henrik's game, actually. Basically, more or less. So Henrik currently leading with Guðmundur Kjartansson. We had what? Rook a7, knight 8 to c3, and on move 42 he went bishop back to g7. Knight b5. d7, we had all this, knight b takes d6, knight c6, and now king h1. This signals that he wants to play pawn to f5, because what we were looking at earlier, there was a possibility of bishop f5 check. But now the king moved, pushing f5 becomes a possibility, so now knight d4. One posted knight d4 and preventing pawn to f5. Bishop c3. And just 5, yeah. Material is actually equal, and it seems to be hovering well around the equal mark. And my prediction here is there's a draw actually. So I predict a draw, but what is happening? Gummi in a healthy. Doesn't look like much for white. He did play knight c4, turning knight b6, picking up the a4 pawn. So of course rook e6. But what does white do here? Maybe start pushing some pawns. But which pawn and where? Where, how, and when? I don't know. Gum is down to 7 minutes, while Inahelte has 17. And in Henrik's game, it was 13 versus 6 in Henrik's favor. Yeah, so it looks like this might be the third round in a row where Gum is playing the longest game. So it remains to be seen if he can castle. No. Queenside is losing 3 in a row. That's what Hero is doing. But winning 3 in a row, we need something for that. Stockfish wins TCEC. So is Stockfish now the strongest computer?
Yes.
So it would seem. They're still thinking here. Quiet developments in both games. But Gummi has only 5 minutes left. So he has to start playing a bit faster. Of course, we always have 30 seconds added to the clock after each move. Oh my goodness. What is Gummi doing? Is he trying too hard? Has he finally went too far? Okay, rook takes, seems forced. Rook takes e7. Now we can't allow the white king to approach, so let's push a pawn. Pawn takes, b3, rook, pawn, rook, and then the king comes over, so we take here. Yeah, here we have to be careful. We have to actually play rook e3 to put the rook behind the pawn, because if we go here directly, then this move is winning for black because of rook b1. So we have to start with rook e3, rook a6. Now we go behind the pawn. I'm not sure if we should push it. We can always push it if we want, or let's not play that move. Then rook check and wins. So probably be a2, but now the question is, does the king reach the pawn? King c3, king c3. So white is up a pawn, but the counterplay is really dangerous here, and this is hard to assess. If white can pick up this a pawn and probably. Let's try something like this. King here. Yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure what's going on. I'm just not sure. So currently the position is after rook takes e7. And yeah, this is tricky. And Gummi only has 6 minutes left. So this was quite a committal decision, but hopefully for him he noticed something. Gummi, has he reached too far? I don't know. Computer wants to go a3. And something like this looks forced. Rook e3. Okay, we don't play a2. We bring the king, of course. We bring the king. King here, king here, king here. Yeah, this might actually be better for black.
Over here.
Huh. Oh, 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 por stråkorna. Okay, he did not play a3. He actually played rook c6. So this actually looks more or less forced. Rook here, here, here. King comes. Okay, this is forced also. King e6. King is coming. And yeah, now the black king stands quite well. So now we think about something like this. When we can't allow our king to get cut off. So now the question is, yeah, very recently Gummi had an ending with 3 pawns against the rook, so maybe he's trying to get some ideas from that. Yeah, come on. This is just I think we actually take with the rook, so the king is not as far away. G4, let's say king back, F6, king here, F7, rook, king, F7, rook F4. Now we have to bring the pawn. So yeah, the question is, how is something like this? To tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't know. Probably good for white, since we can now push the pawn. So maybe this was his idea actually, to go for 3 pawns. Could be, and this is well outside the scope of the computer, so maybe he had ideas like this. Okay, rook c6 he played instead. When rook e5, king b7, and now on rook a5 is rook a6. So white to move. And Gum is down to 3 minutes 40, 10 minutes behind Enajati, which I wouldn't be thrilled about, because the ending is quite complex. Complex. Gumi should be making a move any minute. King e1, yeah, good move. We can't go to e2 because check. So we go here, and now rook c2, there's check. And there's no more rook b6 because we moved the rook. So we need the rook here to interpose. But what do we do now? King b6 might be an idea. There's no normal check, but then maybe we approach with the king. So let's say here, but maybe b3. And we want to play rook c2. I don't think we have time for rook takes g5. Definitely not. We can't allow black to get 2 connected pawns. So computer actually thinks this should be equal. So king e1, yeah, that's the current position. And now Einar with with more time on his clock. Just thinking about things. Henrik against Heden, any developments? No major developments. Gummi should have, defeated Hjörvar by now. And actually, they only played one more move each. So let's have a look at the final position. King c4, rook g5, and after knight e5. Hjörvar resigned. Let's hope he gets a nice birthday dinner to compensate for this queenside castling. 0-0-0, which I don't think we have to go back many years to find a tournament where Hjörvar lost 3 games in a row. Quite disappointing because coming into this tournament, he was by many considered the favorite for the title. He has yet to win the Icelandic championship, the senior championship, but he hasn't played it that often in recent years actually. And this also means that he's losing some ratings, so this might cost him the first spot on the Olympiad team, so we'll have to see how that actually plays out. Yeah, but very, very disappointing for Hjörvar. Going back to Henrik against Heden, 46 bishop c3, rook d to d8, finally protecting this rook and preventing any knight takes c5 ideas. Now the king went back to h2, so abandoning any f5 ideas. Rook f8, but instead, okay, bishop d2. Yeah, we could go here because knight check and then we take the pawn. So bishop d2 to prevent it. Knight f5. Knight to b5. White wants to keep the pieces on, because the more pieces we exchange off, the easier it will be for the rooks to maneuver around the board. So Henrik wants to prevent the rooks from maneuvering freely. Knight c7, attacking the bishop, which retreats to g8. And now we need to protect this pawn on d3. Rook b3 or bishop f1 should suffice. Yeah, so kind of a weird position. Hard for either side to make progress here. So I don't know. If they can. Yeah, Einar still thinking 8 minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm watching. Yeah. Yeah, it seems bishop f1 has to be played here. Or rook b3. I'm not sure which one is better. Finally we have a move in Kjartansson's game. He did play rook b3. So he wants the bishop on this diagonal for some reason. I mean, rook b1 b3, it doesn't really matter. The rook's main function is to attack this pawn, so might as well do it on b3. King e1. Of course, Einar played king d6 like we thought. And now king d1. Here, here I thought b3 was perhaps the most natural move. And maybe there's not much to be done in this position, actually. If b3, white probably has to go rook e2 to prevent rook c2. He can't bring his king closer, he has to keep the rook here. And meanwhile, black can't really improve his position either. Okay, he might actually put the king to b4 and try and play a3, but... Well... whenever we do that, we go rook check. So let's say here... I don't actually know what white can do here. Well, we can give checks. Check. And here we might be able to actually just take. King a or king is in time. Maybe even king d2 is better. But since we have to keep an eye on... No, this is probably winning for white, I would think. Because we'll just make a passed pawn. So like this. Probably this should be enough. And once the king comes over, we just go f3. And the king can't deal with these pawns. We go here, shouldn't matter. Let's say f3. And once the king tries to walk over, we go f4. And whichever way he goes, we push the other pawn. And then we can just pick up the pieces, not this way, but this way. So that would be winning for white. So this means that once we check on e4, the king has to go back. But actually I don't see any progress here to be made, so most likely a draw, unless white can think about similar. Unless white can make this work, but let's say rook here. It didn't take, but I have a feeling it should never be working. No, shouldn't be working. White went rook e4 here. b3, rook e4. And probably rook c2. Now he must go rook e2. Unless he takes on a4, takes on b2, g4, takes. Well, hang on a minute. What's going on here? It doesn't matter how we do it. We go here, takes. Oh, I don't have to take immediately. We start with this. No, then you can. No. I can protect the pawn here. And like this. Okay. So let's take the rook takes g5, but then rook c2. No, white can't win here. It did take on a4. Black took on b2, so that's the current position. So most likely he'll play rook g4, rook takes f2, king c1. Here I thought I actually thought rook f5, king b2, rook a5, then rook g3. I mean, white can try, but I think it should be a clear draw. Okay, we'll come back to this. But actually we are starting to see come back to this one. Let's go to Stengrimsson's game where we have some developments. And now things will start to move faster. Henrik is down to only 30 seconds. Hien has 3 minutes. Meanwhile, on goodness board, they're down to 6 minutes versus 1. 6 minutes for Einar. Let's see here, rook b3. Yeah, okay, rook b3. Hang on a minute. Okay, knight c7, bishop g8. It was actually knight a6 first, I'm sorry. Override. Rook b to c8, now rook b3. Black played b5, trying to activate his rooks finally. And this he managed to do. And we can't take with the pawn, so finally the nice bishops start to work. The bishops that Lamis was talking about. Somebody's asking why not 94. Blocks the d-file. So no attack on the d3 pawn, the rook just moves back to b1. No progress for black. So we're assuming that black is trying to win actually. The extra exchange. That's what I think. b5. Rook takes b5. Rook takes on d3. Knight a takes c5. Rook takes a3. And now it might start to become dangerous. Knight d7. 55. Knight h4. Bishop e1. Knight takes d2. King takes d2. Bishop takes c4. Now black has the bishop pair. Down the exchange, but these pieces are so strong together that I have a feeling black should be able to make something happen here. White's pieces no longer work together. So it looks like b5 was actually a quite strong idea for black, and now he has activated his pieces tremendously. While white doesn't have many ideas, his only idea is to push the f-pawn, but even that we can't do immediately because bishop d5. So tricky situation for white. Another bad thing about his position is that many of his pieces are actually hanging, and that can be quite tricky. Bishop e2 happened. Bishop b4. And this does not look good. Looks like Héðinn is making tremendous progress. He'll probably move his rook to b3 when we have a double attack on this guy and this guy. And there's also bishop f3 in the air. Another double attack on these guys. So lots of stuff hanging, and looks like Henrik might have blundered here after rook b3. He played knight d6. Do we have rook c2 here? Yeah, just rook c2. And the main problem here is this guy is still attacked. And this guy as well. And we can't even protect it. Oh my god, yeah, this is just game over. And we should also add that something like this looks like mate actually. And after knight d6, he actually resigned. What? Henrik? Nee. Disgusted.
Yes.
Yeah, it all fell apart after b5 somehow. Yeah, when he allowed knight takes g2. Yeah, this all fell apart, and this is very bad for his chances in the tournament. I mean, he will still be probably half a point behind the leader, but let's go to Gummi's game. Looks like that game will be a draw, but that means 53. Actually, he played king c1, takes f2, rook d4, king b5, king b1, king c5, g3, rook g2, rook takes, king b4, rook g8, rook g1. There's no way out of this, is there? So looks like our games might be coming to an end here. 59, rook g1, 61, rook g1. So looks like we have a perpetual here. No, I actually went king c1 finally. King c1 instead of king b1. Avoiding the perpetual for now, but is he really going for the win? I mean, he didn't play, but can he try and play this? It has to be lost. I think the black king is too quick to approach here. If the king gets in front of the pawns, it's winning.
Draw.
Yeah, they drew. King b2. Okay. So he didn't go for this idea because, well, it's quite frankly losing for him. So king b2 and a draw.
Yeah.
And this means Gummi now leads the tournament. But things have evened out considerably. Gummi with 4.5. Let's just refresh this. Okay, just a minute. Gonna find this. Let's just put the standings up. How about that? Okay, here it is. Hopefully the shoe fits. So, there's still some results missing, but Gummy here in second place now goes to first with 4.5. Henry will be second with 4. And meanwhile, Bragi and Hannes are joint third with 3.5. And now joined by Héðinn Steingrímsson, who has opened up some chances for him in this tournament. And note that Gummi still has some tough opponents in Bragi and Hannes. So he will actually, well, Bragi and Hannes can sort of make up their own destiny if they actually manage to beat Gummi. So yeah, should still be rather exciting, the remaining few rounds. So we have 3 rounds left. Tomorrow we start at 5 o'clock local time. And well, let's...
It's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
Candidate 5.
Candidates 5, but broadcast around 5.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but I was talking about the start around. So here we have, well, they haven't put in all the results, but tomorrow it's actually Bragi with White against Gummi.
Interesting.
A very interesting matchup and very important for the tournament. So Bragi can put himself right back in contention. Hjörvar, well, the battle of the Gretarsons, and both of them having a disappointing tournament. Helgi, yeah, he's been losing some games despite playing quite reasonably, I think. Héðinn will be white against Gummi Gísla. He will continue his assault, go for his 3rd straight win. Hannes is black against Einar Hjalti here. Important game for him as well. And then finally we will see if Thurster can do something against Henrik. Thurster has 3 wins and 3 losses, so we never know. They met recently, I think, in a tournament in Denmark, where actually Thurster had white also, and Henrik, I think, won that game. So we'll have to see. Anyway, it will be an exciting round tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.